There's no better bet than a sporting bet.
Time to find some winners for Week 10 of the NFL. I'm Andrew Brown. You can find me on Twitter. My handle @SportingBetAB. I'm joined by Australia's NFL pioneer, Cole Scotts. Are you on Twitter, Cole?
No, Andy. I'd like to keep a bit, quiet on those things.
We'll have to get you involved, mate. It's the future. Before we get your tips, Cole, a huge story in the NFL at the moment surrounding allegations of bullying, among other things, with the Miami Dolphins. What's your thoughts on this story?
Well, Andy, yeah, it's a big deal, mate. And look, there's always going to be bullying. In America, there's always black and white. There's always going to be a bit of racism, but there's a line you don't cross. And I've been hearing that this Richie bloke is out of control, mate. He's like cancer to a team. And, what he's been saying to this Martin bloke is just, there's no excuse for it, mate. He deserves to... he deserves to be booted off, and look, he's crossed the line, and all respect for Martin for leaving the team and not putting up with it.
You played a number of years in the NFL. Can you describe the environment in the locker rooms that you spent time in? Was there any toxicity and I guess a toxic culture or anything like that when you were playing?
Yeah, it's amazing, Andy. It was so toxic. It's a good word because you don't know it, but subconsciously all the black guys would sit with one end of the room and the white guys would sit in the other. There was just always a division, and the white guys, we were the minority. We were 10% of the team, which was really unique for me to come suddenly into a world where I was a minority. But coach used to always say to me, "Okay, I'm over this black and white thing. I'm going to call you all green. Now you dark green over here and you white green over here."
Yes, well, of course, the Miami Dolphins will play on Monday night. We'll preview their game shortly against Tampa, but I think every NFL fan will be looking forward to Sunday night and a big game between the Dallas Cowboys and the New Orleans Saints at the Superdome. A check of the odds there, and the Saints $1.34, the Cowboys $3.35, the Cowboys 5-4. And I guess first in a rather weak NFC division, the Saints 6-2, but two of those losses, Cole, have come in their last three games, and they're coming off a frustrating loss against the Jets. I'd expect if you have any Cowboys or Saints players in your fantasy team, you'd be starting them in this game. Probably plenty of points to be scored, Cole, would you say?
Yeah, no, look, it's been really disappointing about Dallas as their secondary. I think, Andy, just, giving up 400 yards in 4 games this year. They're averaging 302 yards passing against them this year, which is the worst in the NFL. They've got some major secondary issues, and they haven't fixed it. Look, not that, Drew Brees and the Saints have been actually on fire. They haven't. But one thing that's been saving Drew Brees is their tight end, Graham, who is the best in the NFL. He catches everything. He's all over the place. So look, I'm expecting Drew Brees against his secondary, no question, mate, that they'll take out Dallas, probably beat them by over 8.
Yeah, and what about for your overs and unders? What sort of points spread do you think will be scored here?
Look, I just think Drew Brees will be, at least a touchdown or two better than this Dallas team, mate. When you line it all up, they're so hard in New Orleans, and Drew Brees will have a field day, as I say. And look, they're better than a touchdown, better than Dallas.
Okay, well, Vegas bookie Bob Scucci reporting on ESPN's Behind the Bets podcast that while he expects the public will be on the Saints, the sharp guys will come for the Cowboys at the line on this one, so it'll be an interesting game there on Sunday night. As we just alluded to, the Miami Dolphins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play on Monday night. I don't know if there would have been too much interest in this game had they been playing on Sunday, but there we go. Tampa Bay, you'd think, have a chance to win their first game of the year here, and it's probably the most winnable one that they've had so far. Up against the Dolphins, they are still outsiders. The line just 1 point. That's coming from 2 as well, so there seems to be a little bit of support rallying behind Tampa, which probably has something to do with all the dramas going on there at Miami. What do you think about this one, Cole?
Well, to be honest, Andy, when something like this happens inside a team, it can galvanise. If you look at most times when teams have big issues like that's going on in Miami, it can galvanise a team. And look, Tampa, they were winning up 21-0 against Seattle going into halftime and lost 24-21. Have lost 8 games in a row. There's a major losing mentality going on in Tampa right now. They've got no quarterback, no offense. Look, Miami have got their own problems. Tannehill, they were 3-0, Andy. They were starting their season great, and now they've got one of the worst offenses in the NFL. And now with all this, this Martin stuff going on within the team, but I just believe it's going to galvanise them. It'll bring them together like it does when there's something tragic in your team, and I think they'll be better than Tampa by 4 points.
Okay, so get on there, Miami there. The tip from Cole at the spread. Cole, I think it's time we get your multi for the week. What are we doing?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, look, definitely New Orleans Saints are a touchdown better than Dallas. He'll have a feel. They'll beat them by more than 7. And Miami, as I say, look, I just got a feeling it's going to bring them together, funny enough. And if you can't, this Tampa team is just a real embarrassment to the NFL right now.
Cole, Super Bowl? What's happening? Who's going to win?
Kansas City or Panthers, but I love in the 49ers. Watch out, same old thing. Watch out for the 49ers and Broncos, no question. But loving seeing Carolina, loving seeing the Kansas City coming through. It's going to be a really interesting playoff season coming up, mate.
Are you surprised that Kansas have gone as well as what they've gone this year?
It's amazing how one guy can make a difference, Andy, and change a coach. And he's taken a program that only won 2 games last year. It hasn't changed that much personnel, and now to be undefeated, it's just spectacular. Great for Kansas City. They've never won anything, mate. They've been a losing program forever. Really proud of them. And Carolina, like, where did they come from?
Yeah, their defence has just been enormous, hasn't it?
Absolutely, very exciting, and look, very unpredictable. So that's what it's just going to be great to see the playoffs, and I'm pumped, mate. It's going to be a great second half of the year.
I have to get you at the Sporting Bet Super Bowl function again this year, I reckon. The great Cole Scotts, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Cole, for coming in and sharing your thoughts again about everything NFL.
Pleasure, Andy. Great to be here, mate.
And that's our NFL wrap for Week 10. Good luck if you're having a bet. Sportingbet.com.au, the place for all your NFL markets. We'll see you next time on Sporting Bet TV.
There's no better bet than a sporting bet.